Good afternoon, folks. This is Joe Bachman, and I am going to be working on some paracord today until a little bit later. And yep, this is how I'm spending my birthday today. Uh, Figure celebrations aren't popping until later tonight, so I'm just going to go ahead and go through and uh, get some more paracord done, which Trey did get me uh, some new colors. We've got the neon orange with reflective stripes going through it, and neon purple with some reflective stripes going through it. So, well, not really neon purple; it's just kind of a purple. But um, so yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing today. I'm gonna try and keep track of comments as I'm going along because I will have my head looking away from the screen, but I'm probably gonna pull it up on my phone also so I can see stuff there. Um, So yeah, and we have Donna join us. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Donna, and Carl saying neon, and Blade saying happy birthday, mighty tech wizard. Thank you, Bladed. I hope you are all doing well today, and we are going to get some music going here, so you're not just listening to my weird breathing. And we're going to go with track number 5 for the Never Bank on a Learning Curve album, WTF Rednecks Can't Groove. And we have some more greetings here. Let's get this other camera up. There we go. Yeah, I guess it's not really a neon so much. I guess this might show it a little bit better in the light. But it does have like the little reflective strips going through it, so. Alright, so let's continue working on what I've been doing. These are scraps that I had left over from the Lunch and Learn at Twin Oaks Park from when I was showing the kids how to do paracord. So I'm able to make little, about 3-inch long, that. I'll think of the word eventually. Keychains. And I'm able to weave in because I bought some glow in the dark paracord that I really just don't care for it with the way it burns and seals and stuff. I don't care for it, so I'm gonna just try and use it up and get it used up and never buy it again. That or I might see if there's a different one out there because it might just be the Michaels, whatever Michaels carries. It might just be their brand. I may try a different brand, but I need to see if Paracord Planet has a glow in the dark version. Because that would be cool. But when I was working on these last night during the green room, I did figure out that these keychains with the glow in the dark strip on them, little gnat, get the hell out of here. These are gonna be available for $5 a piece. I really need to get my work area organized a little better so I'm not constantly looking for where I set shit. Speaking of, clean that edge up just a little bit. There we go. go. Stay. Let's get that out of my way so I don't stab myself. Because that'd be a fun one to explain on my birthday at the ER. Oh, it's your birthday. Have you been drinking? Not yet. Just been working on paracord and, you know, decided to set my scissors where I'd stab myself at. And this little tool here that Trey got me has been a lifesaver with pulling this stuff through. It has made life so much easier. That up. Go. Yeah, Bladed, we probably will not be around for your show tonight because we'll probably still be out eating at that point. But we will definitely catch the rerun. Yeah, I might have this set a little too far back. It's just the way this piece happens to be curling, it's making me think I'm not going to have enough, which is a possibility. Two more ties here, so I'll leave enough room to pull that down and through. Centered a little. One more little tie here, maybe. If I can get the paracord and my fingers to work in sync together. There we go. Ah. So tie off there. Loosen this. Ooh, oh. Get you up through there. Feed you through there. And come on. Come on. You know you want to. There we go. Boom. Just like that, we are done with the first one. And give our little ends some snips. Nice and hot there. Try and get it folded over before the AC down here cools it off too much. That's the other hard part, is trying to get these fold it over before the AC actually cools them down to where I can't just bend them over like that. There we go. A nice little teal with a dark stripe. And now for a second one. I didn't measure that first one. I think these are all about the same size, so. I got tired of trying to measure out the lengths of paracord using a little ruler. So I actually took the ruler and can't really see it. Well, you can see it a little bit in the video. I put the ruler along the edge here and then took the scissors and basically grooved in a 1 foot mark and a 6-inch mark so that I can just kind of lay it out here and see how much paracord I have. I have more of those up here. Apparently not. Huh. Let's see. I'm gonna grab some extras of these. Since I gotta move the bag to get to the other part. There we go. You two get tangled. There we go. What am I looking for? Oh. Carl saying, good idea on measuring desk. I know some ham radio guys who glue yardsticks to their work desk to measure coax cable. Yeah. Well, the way I figure it, I'm sitting right here anyway, so this kind of makes sense to just have it right here in front of me. I'm thinking for the creatives at play, I'm going to attempt to do one of the other weaves that I've done recently. I may try and do the look at the names of them again. I'm drawing blanks on the names. Because there's so many different weaves that Paracord Planet has on their site. What is the name of that weave? Paracord Planet. I know when I see it. I may do the curling millipede again, or the crisscross Solomon bracelet, which, thank you, Foxy. So yeah, I'm thinking about either doing this one here, the green and purple, or the one right next to it, the curling millipede. I may also try, if I can find the right colors I think would be good, I may try and do this dragon's tongue. That one would probably be fun to do. The slithering snake, I don't know if I'm going to do that one or not yet. I gotta look at some of these again and see just how much weaving there is involved also. But I'm definitely thinking for next Wednesday's stream, I'm either going to do crisscross Solomon or the curling millipede. So we'll see. See what we come up with. Yeah, dragon's tongue looks cool. Oh, did I put it as bracelet instead of keychain? So I was going to do bracelets and keychains today and decided just to go with the keychains because I've still got so much scrap here that I need to just whip out the keychains real quick. And hello there, Ruth. Thank you for the happy birthday. Oh, your brain just didn't let you read. Got it. Okay. Yeah, like I said, originally I had it typed as keychains and bracelets, and then erased the keychain part, or the bracelet part. So the pieces of scrap that I'm using are anywhere between about 33 and 36 inches. So I now know that with a about 33 to 36 inch length of paracord, as long as I don't go crazy with the, getting the two ends not being even when I do the initial knot on the keyring, I can get about a 3 to 4 inch bracelet or keychain out of it. And then it's about roughly 8 inches of glow in the dark that I chop off. just so that I know I have enough to be able to pull through here. Okay, come on, everybody to the center. Thank you. Tighten that up just a skosh. There we go. Then I can do this last little knot here. And that'll leave me enough room to get this up and through. In theory. Get that through there. Come on. You can do it. There we go. Ooh. Actually, I got enough left there. I think I might be able to one more little knot here. Let's see. Finish this off. There we go. Ah, there we go. Nice. Alright. And a little snip, 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 and yes, welcome to the madness here. I thought about doing a birthday gaming stream, but oh really, come on. Didn't feel like clearing out everything from over by that computer. Since the workspace was already set up and ready to go, figured screw it, I'll do this. Okay, why are these cooling off faster when the AC isn't blowing? That makes no sense. At least it's glow in the dark. There we go. Another one done. And we're on to Donna's favorite color. We got some purple. Let's see. Carl says I made it to my retirement job to watch and like on the videos of Indie CD Family. We appreciate that, Carl. And you have to warm them up before tying them. No, it's not quite that cold down here. But the I do have to, when I trim the ends like this, I do have to give it a little hit with the fire. That way, as I'm pulling it, it's not pulling out the nylon. Come back here. Thank you. We're saying, well, as you may remember, retirement didn't stick for me, and as I'm about to plunk down the equivalent of 5 of my monthly pension checks on foundation repair for this crappy house, I need the money. Oh, I am sorry, Ruth. Alright, we are about a half hour in. So I'm going to take a short break here. Give my neck a good pop, and we're going to play a couple ads. We will be back after these short messages from viewers like you.
From the moment Security Chief Michael Fassino heard her lilting voice, he was smitten with the Irish lady in distress. But what's invaded his home station at Caladar? And what's that Irish voice doing in his head?
You can find all of Donna Carlene's books on Lulu.com. Find out more about her on the NDCD page at ndcd.org.
All right, and we are back. And of course, this one's going to try and tangle up. Why are you being like this? Stop it. There we go. All right. And get the music back going here. We're going to go to track number 6, Never Bank on a Learning Curve. And Ruth saying, yeah, she's sorry too. It's severely eating into your yearly book budget for con spending. That does hurt. Being homeless would hurt worse if I continue to let the shifting pull the house apart. Yeah. 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 So this purple, actually, they're about the same. They're about the same color purple. This one might be just a touch darker. This one is just a hair darker than the one I'm doing right now. But I like the little gray strips going through it too. So, gotta decide what I'm going to do with these guys. Maybe that's what I'll do Wednesday. I'll do the crisscross Solomon pattern and use the orange as the, I don't know, what do you think? The orange, or here, let me pull that pattern up again real quick. Where did it go? There it is. So, with crisscross Solomon pattern, I'm thinking doing the orange on the outer part and using the purple on the inner, kind of like it's showing there in the picture. I think that would really pop really well. So I'm thinking that's going to be Wednesday night's project. And Carl's saying no one wants to have a broken home. This is true. And Ruth is saying, yes, Carl, that yes, that work economics is a good reason to refrain from work. Yeah. Yeah, we had a lady that I worked with at Staples, and she pretty much almost every single year, the last 2 to 3 weeks, she had to take off. She couldn't work at all. And management would always get annoyed by it, and she'd just tell them the same thing every year. Well, you know, if you guys would ration out my hours over the course of the year, you know, I'd be able to be here during your busy time, but, you know, well, here we are. We're, you know, end of the year, and I'm out of hours. And Carl's saying, plus, supposedly they don't tax my SSA, but they add it to my pension on the tax form, so they're killing. Yeah. I'm sorry, pensions and SSA, all that stuff shouldn't be taxed at all. Shouldn't be taxed by the Fed, shouldn't be taxed by the states. This shouldn't be taxed, period. Really? The one time you stay hot. You mother puss bucket. Try this again. Yeah, I'll have enough. Okay. Carl says once I get to 66 in 10 months, I can work as much as I want. We'll see how much I want. Carl says the kicker, Joe, is that the state of Illinois doesn't tax me at all. Well, that's at least good. A little shocking, seeing as it's Illinois, but that's at least good. Let's see here. That nice and tight. Carl says probably because it's state pension, I already paid the taxes on it. Oh, okay. shore that up just a little bit. Oh, I didn't mean to go that much. Shoot. Alright, back down. Down. Yeah, I'll have to do. Like this. And enough for one more after that. So let's take this off. You through. Down. One more loop around here. Oh, there we go. Let's see. What we got here? Bruce says Georgia taxes me. Dangum. But they give us enough of a refund to cover the small amount we owed the feds this time, so we netted a couple hundred as opposed to having to scrounge for the money. That's good. They tax my state pension here. The double dip, yeah. Carl's saying, dang 'em. Ruth says, evil beasties from the pit of demons they are. Yep, I agree with Carl. Carl's saying, oh goody, another ad telling me that Windows 10 support ends soon. Yeah, that is coming up. What was that, October, I think, this year? They kill it off? Which, that's got to be the shortest cycle for OS. Carl's saying, I wonder if Corel Photo Paint has a Linux version. I don't know. It might. I think Corel has other Linux stuff. We were saying so that's why I have to work to bring in the equivalent of one extra pension check every 12 weeks to pay for food. Oh. Yeah, I agree, Carl. I don't know how people make it on SSA alone. And Ruth saying, yeah, October is the end of Windows 10 support. Yeah. Little circumcisions here. Oop, took a little too much off the top of that one. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to burn down. Let's see if I can do this without scorching the rest. Flip that one a little too far down too. Yep, and that's scorching that one. Damn it. Alright, that one's done. Carl's saying yes, October. We have i7 computers that are still very good. Don't want to go to 11. And Blade's also confirming the October end date. And Carl says people don't realize how little Social Security they will get. It's not a livable wage. No, it's not. It is not at all. Alright. Let's... Oop. Did not say you could fall. And we're seeing those too young to opt in, and they kept upping the opt-in fully aged, so I'm gonna die without ever seeing a penny. Even if I lived to my mid-90s like 3 of my grandparents did. Ooh. Really? Why would you two cross like that? Other than to annoy me there. Let's show this one up and then not have to use the tool. Let's use the tool. Who says my parents' health problem themselves into relatively early graves. My mother smoked herself to death at 71. My dad, alcoholic and bad diabetic himself to death at 80. It was a conscious choice on mother's part, though. Daddy was just goofball and thought he was being clever when he wasn't. Carl saying 71 and 80 aren't too bad. Keep seeing 65-year-olds in the obits, and he's 65. Foxy saying my grandmother is over 90 now, and most of my family lives to the 80s, with the exception of stupid. Stupidity can cause extremely shortened lifespans. It says, yeah, and when I see folks I taught when they were in high school in the obits, I get a bit creeped out. Had a 42-year-old die of a heart attack about 3 weeks ago. Wow. Carl says, yes, one of my uncles is the reason that bulldozers now must have a roof over the driver. I'm sure there's a story there, and I'm almost afraid to ask outside of the green room what that story is. Ruth says, makes me feel a lot guilty for being relatively healthy at 60, almost. Wowie about your uncle, yeah. It was a hold my beer kind of stunt. I barely knew him. Yeah, those kinds of stunts rank up there with the, stupidity can shorten lifespans. There we have it. One done. So we've actually gotten quite a bit accomplished in the last few days. There's one of them. I have another kind of peach-colored one up here somewhere. I've got such a stack going over here now, I'm losing track of shit. I tossed it over here. Oh, didn't toss it over there. Huh. I'm missing a few. That's weird. Oh well. But yeah, I have a ton of different pieces done. Still debating if I'm going to sell this extra long one or if I'm going to use that for myself somewhere. Just to give an idea of what's been cranked out over the last few weeks. That is most everything outside of the 11 that I did the other night. During Creatives at Play, where I was wrapping up what I was using for from the kids. I have a whole 10-foot piece of black here. Are these ones I just ended up not using for the kids? Yeah, these are ones I just ended up not using for the kids. Okay. Yeah, both ends are sealed. Huh. I didn't use those. Do a crisscross design out of this though, so we're going to set that off to the side and use that later. What we got here? Yeah, these are too thin, or too short rather. Anything meaningful out of them? Oh, the bin. Let's see, what do we got here? Let's see, moral of the story, don't drive full speed into a wall. Yeah. And Fox saying, or Ruth says, ouch. Fox says that, ... why? He was a man. My mom's family, yeah. And Trey's here. Hey, Trey. We got greetings, and Fox is saying, oh geez, to Carl, and Blade says, caution, stupidity may cause premature death. Please consult your common sense before doing something stupid. The problem with that, Bladed, is common sense anymore is a superpower. And it is a superpower that many people lack. And Ruth saying I second that thesis, and we got greetings, and Carl says, dang Joe, you're booking. Yep. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff done. So looking forward to doing this one again though. This is the this wasn't the Solomon, this was the other one I was thinking about doing that I can't remember the name of again now. And Blade says, hey Trey, go sword fight without me. It's fine, I'm fine. And Ruth's saying, I know that he's a Bloom Speedy Gonzalez with those keychains. Yeah. Well, the Cobra weave is probably the simplest weave. And then adding that stripe down the center, I mean, it's just a matter of remembering when I have to flip it back or keep it forward to tie it in. So it's pretty quick process. I think when I timed myself the other day, I was between about 10 to 15 minutes of labor per chain. So, and that's just going to go down with time as I, speed up, get used to doing it. And we got greetings, and Trey says, what, where, when? Why don't I remember sword fighting recently? And Donna says, common sense ain't so common anymore. Amen. And Trey says, I would remember getting to use new gear, wouldn't I? I would hope so, dear, because you were awfully excited to get it in. And Carl says, Donna is glad that I inherited far more from my father's side. They all live until 82 or so. And Donna says, extremely, otherwise you'd be your brother. I've heard stories of your brother, Carl. And Blade says, you're going later today, aren't you? No, she's not heading down to Nick's today. We are going to go feast on some prime rib later. Which I figure we'll do the usual, dear. Leave here about 4:30-ish. And Donna says, oh, you were talking about your age. Trey says, oh no, we're going out for Joe's birthday tonight. Yep. And Carl's saying, oh yeah, he got mom's jeans. And Trey says, normal drills for me tonight. And we are an hour in. We're going to pause the music again. Play a couple more ads, and we will be back after this short break.
Hi, I'm Auntie Foxy, and I'm a crafting addict. I make custom jewelry from recycled materials, and Foxy has wares if you have coin. You can find me at ndcd.org/about-auntie-foxy. I hope to see you there.
Alright, and we're going to go over to track number 12, a somewhat lighter shade of fail. I forgot, this song starts off soft. Let's see here. So, let's find where I was at. Okay. Foxy's glad that I'm nothing like either side of my parents, so am I. And Trey says, sounds like a plan. May you text me she wants a salad. Okay. And Donna says, jeans? That's what we're calling it? And you're welcome, Donna. I always enjoy playing the ads for the folks here on Indie CD. And Blade says, so Joe doesn't get a birthday drill? Shame. not the green room. We'll just leave it at that. And Carl's laughing at Thesis. Carl says, too hot for a Nick-themed dance rave, just waves one arm. Yeah, I don't blame you there. Donna says, I've been kicking it too. I had 4 accordion files filled with paper. Now I'm down to 2. Nice. And Carl says, nice, Donna, typing all that in. Let's see here. What was I about to do? There's something else I was going to do. Oh, well, I'll think of it. Alright, let's get this next one going. Let's do the other propel. What do with my scissors? There they are. Saying, oh hell no, most of it went through cycling, too old, too irrelevant. And Carl saying, it's a shame that OCR software didn't live up to all the hype. Then they dropped all that to create creepy AI. Yeah. And you would think with AI now, they would be able to make the OCR software actually a little bit better. Although I've been thinking about using AI to try and create a program that will allow me to dial out from my computer, because I have this one company that I'm fairly certain is a scam, that refuses to add me to their do not call list, yet they give me an 800 number to call back all the time. But they figured out, that it's me, and most of the time just hang up immediately as soon as they connect. But to have it come up with a dialer program that I can use, and then I can just sit back and go, okay, use this creepy AI voice, and keep dialing this phone number until they decide to, no longer have said phone number. Carl says that works too, Donna. Ruth's saying that's awesome progress, Donna. I need to do similar with a lot of things here, but I'm watching this because it's way more fun. And Carl says I wrote some sci-fi back in the day, and some of it came true, so I dumped those stories. Lived past its usefulness. We only have to worry, Carl, when the stories on the Onion are actually becoming true, which I think some of them have. Ruth says, now they abandoned a thing for a totally different thing and throw out the baby with the bathwater. Donna says, I did find some interesting stuff regarding Uncle Carl and even a picture of his bro that was in the paperback when he was like 10. Nice. And Fox is saying, Indigo is loving my yogurt. I'm sure he is. And Ruth says, awesome for Indigo, not so much for you. And Carl says, I thought that kind of program would existed, Joe. They probably used to call you on. So there are programs out there for that, but you have to be able to link it to a server, and it just... I actually looked into it a lot more than I probably should have. But yeah, I'm getting tired of them constantly calling multiple times a day. So they make it, if I can pull this off, they may get a little treat from me. But I figure that's actually a good use case for AI also. Come on, play nice. Tighten up, thank you. I let him lick in the container when I'm done. He's a good pupper. Yes, he is. And Carl says, really, Donna, that would be good blackmail stuff for the bro. And Donna says, I offer my yogurt to my cats, and they look disgusted and leave. Rue says, I let our Selena lick my fried egg plate where the still running yolk is all good for her. Nice. They are great pre-rinse, yes. And Donna's laughing at Ruth. I have to give our charcoal the yellow from my over easy eggs, or I get shunned the rest of the day. And they better not be store bought. They better be store bought, not country. Your cats don't like the farm fresh eggs? I figured they prefer that over the store bought. Considering how bougie some cats can be. Blade says, I've considered setting up the second camera during my streams just for puppy cam, but people would pay more attention to him than my topic. Hey, we can't help that we're animal lovers. Ruth says Selena just loves eggs. She doesn't care. Carol's saying she's spoiled. Donna says the boys don't mind. Charcoal's picky. And she's going to be out of luck because I still have about 3 dozen from when we did chicken duty. Ooh. Carl says your correct thesis. Sarah would not hear a word from you. And he's also saying maybe I need to find the software to allow people to watch our cat cam. Might be a YouTube stream monetized. I mean, that kind of stuff does get monetized quite often, it seems like. And Fox says, I mean, pup cam is cute. Yes, it is. And Trey's asking, how's the tool working for you, Joe? It's working great. It's making this a lot easier. Especially dealing with the glow in the dark, because that does not like to thread into that little needle one that I have. So this is working out great. Ruth says, Selena thinks I'm mean because I make her wait till I set it down by her food dish as opposed to eating while I'm eating. And Carl's laughing. Ruth, maybe she wants her own plate and seat at the table. I'm sure she probably does. And Ruth says, Husky Malamute mix equals drama queen. Husky in general equals drama queen. Carl says, one of our previous cats would cause a ruckus if we didn't give her a Scrabble rack and tiles while we were playing. That's interesting. Fox says, sounds like a gorgeous pup. Yes, it does. And Donna's saying, I just finished what April left us in the fridge. And I gave away 3 dozen to Lily. They get anywhere from 6 to 12 eggs a day. Nice. And Fox says, ours is a German Shepherd mix, we think. There we go. Alright. I think I am actually going to take a break for now, because that is starting to get to my hands already, but got quite a few knocked out. But I will be back Wednesday night for NDCD's Creatives at Play. And then possibly the following Monday, depending on what's going on. There might, and this is a big might, be a Behind the Code. But we will see what comes of that. So, wrap up the comments here real quick. Donna says, yeah, May would always pass, but she was happy playing with us. She would actually look at her rack when it was her turn. Nice. And Ruth says, I think our pupper is gorgeous. I love GSDs too. German Shepherds, I'm assuming. Bucky belonged to my grandparents when I was born, and he let me lay all over him and snuggle him when I was small. And Ruth says, aw, May sounds like a lot of fun. And Carl saying, have a good birthday, Joe. Thank you. I will. And Donna says she was special. I miss her. Yeah, they all, like Fox says, there are some that really leave a mark. And Donna's saying, enjoy your birthday, Joe. Thank you, I will. And with that, folks, we will catch you next time. Y'all have a great rest of your weekend and stay cool. And we'll talk to you soon.